Hello, good evening and welcome to the news. I am Sajo Brinter. Coming up today, family of mentally ill man who killed father in Bakau speaks exclusively to the Fatu Network, and Comfort Quality Services responds to vehicle number plates allegation made for the people by the people show. These and more coming up, and of course our special guest today is friend to the show, Mr. Momodo Sabali, aka Gambia's pen. But first we'll take a look at the newspapers. The Standard newspaper is reporting UDP accepts Supreme Court ruling on Brikama Area Council chairmanship, blames IEC for not acting in good time. Government has no intention to alter constituencies, according to the Attorney General and Minister of Justice. 22 Sanyang youths charged with arson, unlawful assembly, and government spends about 3 million Gambian dollars on buying donkeys, horses for Gambian farmers. Let's take a look at some of these stories in detail. Following a landmark Supreme Court ruling declaring that Brikama Area Council Chairman Srifo Sonko can remain in his job despite being expelled by the party which sponsored him, the UDP has said it accepts the decision of the court. The UDP had expelled Mr. Sonko and filed a mandamus in court for the IEC to conduct a by-election at Brikama Area Council, relying on the Local Government Act. Speaking to the Standard newspaper, the UDP spokesperson Alma Metal, however, blamed the Independent Electoral Commission for failing to act in good time. Alma Metal was quoted as saying, "The party accepts the judgment of the Supreme Court and equally congratulates Gambians who are continuing to test our laws because there are several unconstitutional laws standing in the Gambia," Tal told the Standard newspaper. Meanwhile, government has no intention to alter constituencies, according to Dauda Jallow, the Attorney General and, of course, a Minister of Justice. Justice Minister Dauda Jallow has said the government has no plans to alter any constituency boundaries for the upcoming 2021 presidential elections, saying the current 53 electoral constituencies will remain intact. Controversy surrounds the Electoral Amendment Bill following its first reading in Parliament on Monday, as it reportedly outlined new proposals to demarcate and annul several constituencies. It states that Bundunkunda, Joswang, Latrikunda, Sabiji, Serekunda West, Kombo East and Kombo South shall be demarcated into 2 constituencies, while Busumbala, Old Yundum and Sanementring will constitute a single constituency on the Kombo North, and the Tumana constituency to be scrapped. But speaking to journalists at the National Assembly yesterday, the Justice Minister explained that the constituency boundaries in the bill tabled in Parliament was in fact a wrong version. Meanwhile, 22 Sanyang youths charged with arson and unlawful assembly. Police prosecutors yesterday pressed charges against 22 young people, all from the coastal village of Sanyang, for allegedly setting fire to Sanyang police station. Appearing before Principal Magistrate Aissatou Dabo of the Brikama Court, the accused were slammed with 4 counts bordering on conspiracy to commit a felony, arson, unlawful assembly, and rioters demolishing structures. Government spends about 3 million Gambian dollars on buying donkeys and horses for Gambian farmers. The Gambia government, through the Ministry of Agriculture, has spent about 3 million Gambian dollars on purchasing donkeys and horses distributed to Gambian farmers last year. A situational report on the 100 million supplementary budget fund to the ministry revealed. The report, expected to be tabled at the National Assembly for consideration, highlighted how these funds were used following its allocation among 3 principal departments under the ministry: the Department of Agriculture, National Seed Secretariat, and the Department of Livestock Services. That's it for the Standard newspaper. Let's take a look at The Point. The Point newspaper is reporting that 22 Sanyang youths in court with arson and 5 other charges. We have already covered that story. Young's Dabo alleged sedition video played in court. 8 million reportedly looted at Sanyang riot. Let's take a look at these stories. The Banjul Magistrates Court on Tuesday played the alleged seditious video featuring lawyer Yankuba Dabo of the United Democratic Party. Lawyer Lamin S. Kamara appeared before the accused person, Yankuba Dabo, while Commissioner Abdullahi Sane, Chief Superintendent M. Jaju, and Superintendent A.S. Manga appeared for the Inspector General of Police. Police prosecutors told the court that they have amended the charges sheet, and Dabo was asked to take his plea again and he pleaded not guilty to both charges. $8 million is reportedly looted at Sanyang riot, according to police reports. A staggering sum of 8 million Gambian dollars has been reportedly missing at the local fishmeal processing plant at Sanyang following a violent mob attack on the factory over the alleged killing of a native by a Senegalese national. In a press release posted on police Facebook page, the police high command wishes to inform the public that it has opened an investigation into the violent riot incident that occurred at Sanyang village in Kombo South of West Coast region on Monday, March 15, 2021. This unfortunate incident resulted in several acts of vandalism, attack and burning of the police station in Sanyang, burning and looting of a fish meal processing factory, burning of tires on roads, as well as numerous acts of destruction to properties by rioters. That's it for the Standard newspaper. The Point newspaper. Let's go for a break and we'll be right back. Stay tuned. Welcome back. And now the family of the 19-year-old boy who killed his father in Bakau speaks exclusively to the Fatu Network 2 weeks after the gruesome incident. Fatu Kamara reports.
The incident occurred this past Friday morning in Bakau, Mamakoto Swarekunda. The elder sister of the 19-year-old boy who committed the crime, Salimoto Sware, and a neighbor explained how the incident occurred.
Li dafa xew digante ay hapas et la xew ba suma dom bi demee school ak suma raka dem liggéey ma nekk fi bëgg a prepare pour dem liggéey si la li happen bam génné dama ko laaj ndax dafa bëgg a ndeewoo mu ne ma bëggut ndeewoo fekk suma papa mu ngi nelaw man expectuma woon sa li moo nekkoon si moom because nit ku wéru doo dee xam mbiram léegi ma dugga si wonak bi di sangu benn baat laa dégg suma papa after ma ñëw ma fekk def na li so man tam suma effort pour jëloon ne balaa nit yi di bari fii because dama jëloon ne man tam dinaa ko gaañ waaye nit yi xëj suma diggante moom waaw
dañ toog rek aljuma bi si suba ñu dégg man ma dégg yuuxu fii ma dégg yuuxu noonu laa daw si ma dugga si biir kër gi ma ne lu xew benn gu paaya laa fi fekka mais magam moom mu ci gannaaw di sangu bi ma fekkee paa bi mu ne ma ah kii xoolal kii mu ngi def lii papaam de ma noonu laa def ni ma yuuxu nit yi ñëw bu nit yi ñëwee ñu téye ko mu ne lan laa def ma ne ko yow yaa ngi rey sa papa mu ne kan mu ne man dama dee bu yàgga man nekkuma fii de man maa nekk paa man dee naa bu yàgga ma ne ko paa mu ne man du ma paa de man dee naa bu yàgga noonu la nit ñi ñëwee dëkkandoor yi ñëw ñu téye ko ñu yóbbu ko police fekk paa bi gaañu la ba pare.
Salimatu and the neighbor said past mental problems led him to committing such a crime. They explained he is a very pious, respectful and humble personality.
Xale bi maa ko yar dama ko yar di mu nekkee xale di ko yaayam ferale benn magee nii suma loxo la nekk daanaka parce que li moo def yëpp dama ko dee gis te li moo def rek lu baax rek la dee def xale bi dafa yaru boo xamante du la dee xool si but sooy waxaa moom dafa siga nga pare waxaa moom li nga ko sant mu def ko waaye amul problème ak kenn depuis bu mu juddoo ba léegi du waxam bariwut sax dafa seeda mun na moo ñëw si yow tey soo nekkee si kaw tuugu bi nga welcome ko dafa toog si suuf just like papaam tamit noonu la mel soo ñëwee si moom fii tey dafa am pour wàcc si suuf tuugu si kaw tuugu bi and then mu wàcc si suuf yow nga toog si kaw noonu la dee def kan xale bi tamit deuxième den su ñëwee si yow noonu la xale bi dafa yaru boo xamante ne su ma bëggee wax yëpp suma yaram baa ngay dee sax.
tin si ndanka la ñëw si moom ba afterwards ñu gis ne mu ngi ñëw woos waaye du dee ñanga comme soo ko laajee ndax dafay lekka nice ku diinete la ku baax la ku am respect la si kilifa yi te suma xariti papa la tamit because suñ doomi papa yi yëpp moo gën a nangul suma papa waaw lu suma papa buga def rek moo koy jàppale comme support am la moo nekk right hand suma papa daanaka loolu laa la mun a wax because they are almost best friends ba pare papaam la ko tuddee tamit waaw ku diinete la moom du dee bàyyi wattu du ko raw juli la du jógee si jaaka bi te du juli si kër gi na dafay jàppa dem juli si jaaka bi ñëpp si ku bugga famille la ku bugga magami la ndax man sax de ku ma fi woon waaye daf dee dem di ma fekki di ma nuyu nice foog ma ne musuma ko expect sax waaw unexpectedly happen waaw.
When the incident occurred, many have speculated Pa might have taken hard drugs or related substances. But the sister and the neighbor said Pa Suare never took any drugs or behaved in any way related to that.
ñun suñ famille musuñoo am kuy jël drogue wala naan si suñ famille mu ngi àndaas mu ngi du deetu du naan du saaga kilifa du xool kilifa tamit si bët wax dëgg ne yàlla dëkkandoor yi yëpp fii nit yi baax lañ because ba ko lii tiyee sax dëkkandoor dañ surprise on ñu ne nit ku baax mu ngi nii am na feebar bi yal na ko yàlla wéral ku nekk di ko ñaanal Pa Isa imam Mama Koto bi sax dafay ñëw di ko seesi fii di ko siyaare di ko ñaanal because of lu tax musuñoo expect lii si moom.
man xale bu góor bu baax laa ko gisee waaye pour naan nii wala di drogué boppam loolu de dëgg ne yàlla musuma koo gis fii laa nekk de waaye musuma gis fu mu tuuxee te musuma gis fu mu toogee ci biir ndongo yi fii musuma koo gis dëgg ne yàlla dama ko léegi gis mu dem ci jàkka bi de te dëkkandoor yi fii yëpp jàkka bi yëpp seetlu nañ ko ci loolu daf di dem ci jàkka bi su jógee ci jàkka bi rek mu ñëw dugal ci kër gi fii rotal papaam bidong yi yëpp toog.
The elder sister, however, said they want to stand by Pa Suare and treat him.
man léegi ndox tuuru na kenn du ko mun a tiba ku gaañu ki yal na ko yàlla xare ajana yàlla may ko ajana firdawsi te oyofa suuf si kawam ñun dañ teel a ñàkk yaay moom suma papa moo nekkoon suñ yaay moo nekkoon suñ papa moo nekkoon suñ everything because dafa stand pour famille am understand nga man si suma sago suma papa yaaga fi lu ëpp nii waaye ndogal yàlla jaama munu si dara yaa ngi may dégg so action bu ma amoon pour def léegi loolu nekkatu si man ndax lu tax suma rakala ba pare may taawi kër man moo ñoo bokk ndeya baay man maa nampa jox ko so loolu bu demee ba lii happen damay ñaan yàlla julli si yàlla ñaan yonante bi pour mu yàlla may ko wér mu yàlla delloo ko si sagoom because su àndoon si sagoom du def lii nii waaye man maa ngi ñaan yàlla buur bi yàlla tuur si ndox bu seeda yàlla delloo ko si sagoom ba yàlla may ko mu wér si jaama because ñu ngi jël step pour like ñu faj ko mu mun a wér mu ànda sagoom waaw duñ mun a ñàkk a kale moonta ñu bàyyi ko noonu mu demee noonu waaw.
The boy is currently with the police in Kanifing. Recently, quite a few boys have been seen killing their fathers in the Gambia. The reasons for some of these related cases are lying with the police yet to be concluded. Fatu Kamara reporting for the Fatu Network News Review.
Cheapest phone in the Gambia, Afriphone, is back in a brand new style. Africell, the biggest and the best GSM operator in the Gambia, is setting trends once again.
Get an Afriphone for $350 only and receive 1 hour of free talk time spread over 3 months.
$350 is only you can get a dual SIM phone with a wireless FM radio, memory card slot, internet access, long-lasting battery, and 1 hour of free talk time.
Where Africell goes, nobody dares to follow.
Welcome back. Comfort Quality Services Limited has reacted to recent allegations made against the company by some concerned Gambians recently on the popular For the People by the People's show hosted by Bankamani and of course our friend to the show, Coach Pasamba Jau. To have more insight on the story, Usman Jata now tells us more in this report.
Comfort Quality Services was awarded a bidding contract after meeting all the requirements of the bid. Out of 6 companies who took part in the bidding process, Comfort turns out to be shortlisted for the contract. The move has led to various criticisms from the other bidders, who claim that the entire bidding process was unjust.
But when we started digging into this, we started to observe the first abnormality was the number plate bid, which occurred in 2019 January, early January, was awarded to the highest bidder, $65.7 million. And in the bid documents, it was to supply 65,000 number plates to the government 1 month after award. The next second bidder was $45.5 million to supply the same 65,000 number plates. Yeah. And the average price, when you look at it, we did a calculation to just check what the average price was about 30 million. Yeah. The lowest price, who also wanted to do it, was 15 million, less than even the difference between the first and the second.
Usman Jai, Chief Operations Officer of Comfort Quality Assurance, responding to the recent claims made on the popular Facebook site dubbed by the People's Show, clarified allegations made regarding the whole bidding process and awarding of the contract awarded for the aluminium number plate and QR code after winning the bid of designing and selling of new aluminium number plates.
As a Gambian company, we have a right to anything that is tendered to actually put forward and express our interest in it. So what you'll find is other companies bidded for the same project. So one of the allegations was on the tender document, it didn't say a BOT, which is a bill, operate and transfer. And the other thing was the government, we were supposed to procure plates worth of $65 million, and then the government is supposed to pay us that. That's some of the allegations that they're saying. So how did we actually acquire it? Or whether it was paid to us? Because BOT wasn't mentioned, so why did they give it to us? And I'll tell you one thing. Number plates has been around for a long time. And I believe, as you will be aware, that there was a time there were not even number plates available. So you'll find a lot of vehicles with Q and R series. They didn't have, you see, papers and paints written on the number plate. We should go past that stage now in Gambia. We're in a digital era. The world is advancing. So what we came up with was all companies came and expressed their interest. So there's a transparent tender process. So GPPA will supervise the whole thing. It's through the Ministry of Interior. And then what you will find is all of us can produce a sample saying we can do number plates. I come with my proposal. Okay, now the ministry says, okay, all of you companies have come and this is what you've submitted. You've done your bid security and all these things. So bring a sample of the plate and it has specifications with the Gambia flag and the hologram and then any security features. And we did, listen to this very carefully, a sample of a sticker with a barcode to be presented. What we came up with on the tender day, on the close, we were the only company that came with a sample of the sticker. The only company. And we came with everything that was required, a sample of a plate with the security features embedded in it. And then we have the hologram and then the Gambia flag with the GPF actually engraved on it. So we have actually fulfilled what we were required to present at that very day. And then now what happened is, so any company that didn't come with a sticker, I believe that should disqualify you straight away because you didn't come with the requirements of what they required.
Meanwhile, we engage drivers to know what they make of the new vehicle number plates made by Comfort Quality Services. Some of the drivers have acknowledged the quality of the aluminium number plates, which they say has more quality if compared to the old type. However, some commercial drivers, mainly taxi drivers, were quick to express disappointment towards the new vehicle number plates as they claim that the stickers on the plates easily worn off. Equally, majority of them have raised concerns over the amount charged for a plate.
Number plate nga munjede ni number plate dal mankati man betia parce ni number plate na da na meta abe ka bole na bota je number fa mu ka suude ko de mu ka ko number kare lo nyinti ma je nyum fo para da nyam da para bo nyam so nana da price la karula fana ya la price gi nyadi la ni a price wa certale ya fe $1,150 ada certale fengo ni ba san mu yala ne anyanda beti ala ya dogo e beti ame
Making clarification on the fee attached to a number plate, Mr. Joy cleared the air on the price of the plates.
We know a vehicle has 2 number plates. So we said we'll sell it for $630 for 2 plates. So in actual fact, what they were selling for one, for $450, $500, now we are selling for $315. So we know that straight away we are cheaper. On top of that, now the government has to earn from this. So instead of government invested, now the government will earn. So now the government added $420 on top. So now the price became $1,050. So now, because we all know number plates previously, you pay $1,200. And then you even buy the foam for $100. So you end up paying $1,300. So we're saying, okay, now this is what we'll do. The government added an extra $50 for their share. That's a fixed share that goes to the government. So now the government is making $470 for every number plate that we sell. Remember that. Every number plate that we sell, we only get our 630 that we said, okay, we will sell it for 630. Government says, okay, 630 is your price. We will put 470 on top, which is 1,100 to make it 1,100. So now, for every number plate we sell, that percentage goes to the government. So now the government is earning on something it hasn't actually invested in. So in a way, they're saying they don't know why the government gave a BOT. Government is actually smart, earning from something that they didn't invest in. They will get transfer of skill and knowledge to the police officers. And then at the end of a period of 5 years, they will be armed with a vehicle management system that has a proper database of every vehicle in the Gambia.
6 companies bidded for the contract. Out of the 6, Comfort Quality Assurance was, however, lucky to win the contract after meeting all the requirements of the bid. Following complaints against the procurement of aluminium number plates, Comfort wrote to the Ministry of Interior to provide further information to clarify. In response to the letter, the need for this tender emanates from the End User Department. The Gambia Police Force and the department specifies that they need aluminium number plates, self-destructive holographic sticker barcode system, and a software system to ease tracking and tracing of vehicle identities for security reasons. Therefore, we would like to clarify that the source of funding, as stated in your decision, is not from the government. This tender intends to be an investment cost required for the production of the number plates. The letter further reads, therefore, the government of the Gambia will not spend a butut on the project, but instead will accrue 40% of the sale of each set of number plates. It further explained that the 65,750,000 is not whole for the contractors, but only 60%. Reporting for the Fatu Network News Review, Osman Jata.
Tough Africa Global presents the new Tulip Gardens. Tough Tulip Gardens is set to comprise service plots in sizes ranging from 220 to 570 meters square. Deposit as low as $83,600 is only. An 18-month interest-free payment plan with only 20% deposit on the service plots. Please contact 376-2333 or 776-2333. Free.
Welcome back. Now I am joined by our special guest on News Review today, Mr. Momodu Sabali, friend to the show, friend to the network, and my frenemy. Welcome to the Fatu Network.
Thanks for having me.
Sabs, so many things to talk about, but first off, let's start with the recent events happening in the country. And we have seen what happened in the coastal village of Sanyang. It was rather unfortunate that a young life was lost. What is your analysis of that incident?
It's very sad and scary. I'm very much conversant with the youth situation in this country, and I'm very comfortable with dealing with any youth situation. And I've, by the grace of Allah, saved really dangerous situations in this past 4 years, where this country could have gone on fire. Just engage the youths on my own and resolve the problem. But this time around, what happened in Sanyang really scared me, because the spontaneity of it all and the impact was really scary. But it just shows that this government under Adama Barrow is not ready for business. They cannot handle and control the country. But it also reflects the level of frustration latent in the young people of this country. And it's a signal that we cannot take the peace and security of this country for granted. Unfortunately, this government does not see that as a priority. We have a government and a president who cares about his personal security and that of his family, and who doesn't even give our security services the honor and respect that they deserve, but is comfortable enough 4 years into a transition where the security service reform has practically and abundantly failed to go to Senegal and bring in Senegalese for his personal security. And I mean, analyze it anyhow you may. Being in charge of a president's security is a source of prestige. If our security forces feel that our president and their commander-in-chief does not trust them enough to entrust them with his security, definitely is going to bring in an implosion of morale within the security forces. So these are the issues at hand. Sanyang, I think, is a red flag that Gambians, we need to reboot the system. It's not working.
You know, it's not only about Sanyang, because there is too much that is happening in these coastal villages. We have Gunjur, yes. We have the land issues, we have the fish meal factories. And a lot of people say this is just a ticking time bomb that is waiting to explode. How do you think government needs to confront these issues?
Yeah, I said the government, I mean, I'm not even going to suggest how they should confront these issues because they don't seem to listen. I've written more than a dozen open letters to the president directly. I've been here dozens of times on Gis on social media, trying to pick out issues that may be of interest and actually proffer solutions, because I know a little bit of how this country should run or can be run. But they have issues, like you said, land issues, this sign minding issue, this fish meal issue. But Barrow and his government have this attitude. Gambians dañ bari wax suñu waxee after 2-3 days dinañ noppi. That's the way they're treating these issues. They're not interested in solving any problem. They are not taking any practical steps to solve these problems, but they think Gambians will talk and keep quiet. But these things are building up, and at some point, it's going to explode. So I told you personally, I've been able to resolve a problem in this country involving thousands of young people. By the grace of Allah, I resolved it. If this government is actually serious about solving some of these problems, they can do it, but they're not interested in it. They all focus on how to get Adama Barrow re-elected, and this is not just Barrow and his ministers. Top security chiefs are directly involved in canvassing votes, involved in trying to make sure people are registered to vote for Barrow who may not necessarily qualify to vote in this country. This is very sad and pathetic.
Very serious allegations.
Absolutely. And they know it's true. Let them challenge me. I'm up for it. They're listening to me. They know that I know what I'm talking about.
You know, some of the things that happened in Sanyang and the recent rise in stealing and the burglaries, a lot of people think that the security of this country is at a very fragile state. What can you tell us about the current state of our security in the Gambia?
Well, it's completely gone rotten because you may say I'm opposition, and proudly so. But immediately after the Sanyang event, I monitored WhatsApp audios from the NPP, Barrow's own political party's forums. People coming out, Barrow's own supporters, telling him, you can't be sitting down in this country as president. This kind of explosive event happens. People die and you keep quiet and sit down in Mankamankunda trying to get people to support you without making a statement, without taking any steps. These are NPP people speaking, not UDP or APRC. They themselves saying that our women can't even go out now with their wigs because people will jump on them and rob them. We've heard of people dying mysteriously in the bushes of Nyamina. Senegalese security coming into our country, shooting people, broad daylight, corpses being exhumed in the cemeteries in Bakau, young people killing their parents. I've heard of 2 authentic cases recently. In the midst of a drug pandemic, tons of cocaine in this country, still the government can't tell us anything concrete or anything serious. Container of guns in this country, and several other issues. But Barrow is only interested in bringing people together, bringing Fulas today, bringing Manjagos today to State House, vote for me, self-perpetuation. His other big project is to sabotage a constitutional process that's been the main pillar of this whole transition. This man is not interested in the peace and security of this country.
You know, sometimes it's definitely hard to keep up because there are so many things that are happening in this country. And people sometimes say, of all the things that the Gambia or the government could talk about or could address, we heard the National Assembly going back and forth about skin bleaching. Yeah. What do you make of that debate, first of all? I know sometimes we tend to blame them, but it was brought forward by the Attorney General, of course. What do you make of that debate about skin bleaching?
Absolutely. The National Assembly should debate any issue that's brought to them.
Absolutely.
But this is where the importance of leadership comes in. If you have a country and a leader who does not even know what are the priorities of his country, you'll have that kind of debate in the assembly. And I'm not blaming the National Assembly as an institution or any of its members. It's Adama Barrow who feels that that's a priority. I'm glad that the vibes I'm getting is that they're refusing to repeal it and should not be repealed.
Oh, really?
Absolutely, without a doubt. Why should you send people a signal that something as immoral and health-wise so dangerous should be okay to do in the country? It's good that they threw it out.
Oh, so you are actually...
Absolutely, that law should not be repealed. It's bad enough that we have these people advertising skin bleaching
It's all
creams.
over social media now.
So it's good. National Assembly, congratulations. Perfect decision.
But I mean, come on, Sabally, people will say, we do not have the resources to make sure that, we keep up with all of these things happening. Does the police even have the capacity to arrest all these people and charge them?
We've had, not just in the Gambia, even other countries, where you have a death penalty in your statutes. It's there, it's not implemented, but it serves as a deterrent. I see this skin bleaching law in the same way. Leave it there. Don't send people a signal that it's okay for them to destroy themselves and destroy this self-esteem of generations yet unborn.
Before we move to our next topic, there is something I want to highlight, and it's something to do with Sanyang, because the youth of Sanyang took to the streets in anger, and for some reason they actually burned down the police station and it was destroyed. And in the process, some people might say, okay, from his goodwill, a businessman came to what people will say the rescue of the community and promised to rebuild the station for almost 2 million Gambian dollars. Now, some people are actually iffy about this, saying, should he or should he not? Are you part of those people who are iffy about it? Because they are saying, the building of police stations should not rest in the hands of civilians.
I said this on the last episode of Gis Talk Show. I mean, I was shocked to see that we have such a serious national problem that has to do with national security. A police station is burnt down. There is no proper investigation, no report. Somebody just appears on the scene with your own cameras trying to show the whole world that he is the good Samaritan. And the police are accepting this. This is completely unacceptable, and it's a red flag for this country. I see no reason why any businessman or any business entity should rush to do this kind of thing. And this is not the first time. The same business or businessman repeatedly going to the police, giving them gifts, and the business concerned was at least once subjected to police investigation. And they're giving him certificates of honor and recognition. How do you expect the police to be able to independently investigate this? Look, sorry, we know no government has enough money, but I was National Budget Director. I know whether it's budgeted or not. Give me a computer at the Ministry of Finance, I'll just click a button and we'll get $2 million to go and rebuild that. It's bad. And the police management of the Gambia Police Force should be ashamed of themselves for accepting this kind of thing.
And now we have this Gambians will say, for them, and stuff like that. And it seems this thing has now been extended to our public institutions. Out of nowhere, we heard reports from the National Water and Electricity Company when they said 15 million mysteriously disappeared from their accounts. Sabally, what do you make of this? I know I'm not a finance person, but when we have these kind of accounts, there are two signatories, the director or whatsoever it's called, and then we have the chief finance officer. But what's your reaction to this news?
Well, I think the only thing is that it just shows us the symptoms of a more dangerous problem within the system. These people are looting. I mean, I'm not speaking of NAWEC specifically. The Gambia government as a whole, they're looting hundreds of millions of dollars per year. And the evidence is right across the border. Barrow's ministers and top directors building mansions in Dakar that can never be explained by their legal income. I came across a statement that one of Barrow's ministers was caught on audio saying that you will regret it. And but Barrow does not even seem to be aware of this, or he doesn't seem to care about what's going on. Now it's just the tip of the iceberg. It's deplorable, but the problem is actually worse than what has been shown in the Nawek case. I think the public should know that.
But the first question that everyone asked was, how? And then they came out with a statement to explain to the people how. What is the possibility of this happening? They said it was done because someone hacked into whatever. What is the possibility of this happening?
Well, what in
this modern day of technology.
No, I'm not going to get into the details of that because I think it's still a subject of investigation. What I know that in this digital world, we are all at risk, and in terms of digital security, this country is in the stone age. So perhaps from that end, it should be a signal for other institutions to be a little bit more careful. I don't know the details. I don't want to get into it. But what I'm saying is 15 million is nothing compared to what's happening in central government itself.
So you think that it's what's happening is even worse than
I don't
than what we've
think
just
I
had?
know that it's worse than what people know.
Sabri, do you think it is time for the country to establish an anti-corruption commission? Long overdue, perhaps.
To be honest with you, I am not a fan of anti-corruption commission. I see people talk about this because it looks fine on paper. Anti-corruption commission, you know we don't have one yet.
Yes.
They're thinking of one. I've already heard people's names mentioned who are supposed to be members of this commission, and even the chair's name, I know it, the chair, because this country, President Barrow is not fully au fait with what's going on. Then their Toga affairs, you Tegal correct Musain. He doesn't even look at it. So they have a chair who has a vested interest in some of these institutions and who is corrupt himself. The person being touted, appointed for this job. Anti-corruption, the Gambia, I mean, we've seen commission of inquiries become witch hunts, pick and choose who's to go after. The anti-corruption commission is going to be different. Anti-corruption commission will never investigate the Fatuba Barrow 35 million thing. The anti-corruption commission will never investigate how Barrow spends money on this Meet the People store. The anti-corruption commission is just going to be here, a paper tiger. They will, I'm telling you, you can record this and keep it. If it happens, government will use it to witch hunt people that are not fully in support of them. What I think should happen is for the government to have a proper system of checks and balances, use the Attorney General's chambers to prosecute people where they found one thing, and also to completely overhaul the incentive mechanism of our government. The public service, the kind of salaries they're paying our public servants is a joke. It's no justification for anybody to steal public funds, but people respond to incentives. If you raise the pay level at least to a respectable level internationally. Look, I used to be a central banker. You go on international conferences with your people, your colleagues are being paid like $3,000 per month. You are paid literally, no exaggeration, $100. It's a joke. Still, I am saying it's no justification for people to pilfer public funds, but the government needs a complete overhaul of our pay and compensation mechanism.
And now we are in election year, of course. We have months to go.
Yes, and UDP is winning, inshallah, without a doubt. It's inevitable, whether you like my party or not.
It's coming at a time when
I'm telling you.
It's coming at a time when there's a pandemic, of course.
Yes. So
what is wrong with you?
Nothing is wrong with me. I'm just telling you what's going to happen.
Right,
and I have access to real info. I just came back from URR.
You know, the politics of this country has certainly changed, not because of anything, but because it's coming at a time when, you know, the whole world is dealing with a pandemic. The government of the Gambia has said they have suspended all, you know, public gatherings and all of that. So what are the other ways that you're using to engage the people at the grassroots level?
Well, let me say, for a start, that Adama Barrow is using this pandemic to try to constrain and restrain the political activities of his opponents while he's freely doing whatever he wants. He said there's a lockdown, he goes to Mankamankunda, goes to Elumo, people are running after him without masks. So that is out there clear. The good thing is a party that's so resilient and pulsating with creative energy like UDP. We are even more comfortable with our activities right now than before without necessarily breaking the laws. I was in Wulli this weekend. I was in Nyani. I was in Nyanija.
Now let's talk about...
So
wait.
We're doing our thing. Barrow is playing games with us, but we got a solution to every problem.
So on that Wulli engagement that you had, I saw our mutual friend, Kex Sane, actually attacking you, saying
that he did.
Yes, on his Facebook. See, I've caused the problem here
I'm
now.
not aware.
I'm sorry.
No, it's
So
okay,
no,
it's
he's
okay.
saying that, Woolly is a no-go area.
Yeah.
It's a PDR, Doi stronghold.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
What does he know about Woolly? In the first place, the statements he puts on social media, he doesn't write those statements. Somebody writes for him because he's a school dropout, functionally illiterate. So what he's writing, I know, I know these youths. Somebody puts these things up for him and he puts it up on social media, but he doesn't know what he's talking about. Well, have you ever seen him in Woolly? I was in Woolly. I bring out video, pictures. They speak for themselves. You don't cook these things up. Woolly has turned yellow. I want you to write this down in your diary. Let's have this interview on the 5th of December when Usain Uda would have been at State House, inshallah.
Sabs.
Absolutely, without a doubt.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. I've just created something here.
It's okay. It's a debate. It's a debate. But let him write for himself. Let him not use Bokar Ba and those other people to write for him to post on Facebook.
So you think that the UDP will win the December 2022?
We have won the election. We are just waiting for the formality of casting the votes. I was in Bakadaji, next door to Mankamankunda. The videos are out there on social media. The young people of Bakadaji have said they are solidly behind Usain Udabo and UDP. There are certain details that I won't give out here because it will help. It might trigger Barrow to do certain things to try to recover. Barrow is standing on quicksand, man.
Are you
He's
sure
gonna
about
sink
that?
in December without a doubt.
Are you sure about that?
Our chairman in Basse Famara Jabi, he was so happy with what happened in URR. So he asked me what's in Combo here. I said here Barrow is not popular. I told him maybe URR. He said in URR Barrow is like Durang or Domoda bu amut horom. Hamga lulu ñu buga Sisekunda yu buga leka sa duñ ko leka. That's it. He was there and we were there. Who pulled the crowds? It's us, UDP.
Somebody December didn't tanga it.
I'm Tanga. December 5th, invite me here for an interview. Usain would have been
No problem. I'll be more than happy to do so. And of course, as part of one of the most important things you have heading towards the December 2021 polls is the voter registration.
Yes.
Your friend, your people, the IEC have finally announced the date that May 29, the voter registration will commence. What do you have to say to the Gambian people? This is a very important thing to do as far as elections is concerned.
To the Gambian people, I'd say, I still believe IEC is fairly independent and fair in the way they're doing things. I believe in that, unless they prove otherwise, right? The rules are clear, and the IEC is communicating, let us follow the rules and go and register peacefully. That's all I have to say. This is about the most important aspect right now. Before you go and start attacking people, insulting people, yes, Amut Soro. At the end of the day, your words will not be counted. It's your votes. So let's do this. But also, in as much as I trust that IEC would play the games by the rules, I think Gambian citizens should be watchdogs because Barrow and his NPP people have shown us signs that they're willing to bring in foreigners to register here. Let us resist it by all means necessary. By all means. No foreigner should register in this country to vote in December.
Before I let you go, what do you make of this headline on the Standard newspaper? The government spends about $3 million to buy donkeys and horses
I think
for
you were trying to make fun of me because these donkeys, the Kiang people have given me a tough time on this. They said Barrow sent donkeys to Balibu.
Fatu is watching you.
Fatu Kamara, oh my God. Of course, I know Fatu asked you to ask me this question. No. Of course. Because these donkeys, to be honest, Sajo, when I heard that Barrow gave donkeys to NBR, which is my region, Badibu, seriously, I thought it was a joke. And then I found out it's true. I was shocked. If Yaya Jammeh, 20 years ago, could bring in tractors, power tillers for our farmers. Barrow and his people confiscate those things from the farmers and they give them donkeys in 2021. What a shame. What a travesty of justice. But then for Fatu Kamara, the donkeys that they said were in Badibu, I'm serious. I went to Kiang in a village called Jomar. I saw donkeys there. I'm sure it were the donkeys that were sent to Badibu. They found their home in Kiang. I don't have a doubt about that. Yeah, actually a donkey hit my car in URR and I was scared because, to be on a serious note, some people are giving these donkeys a spiritual connotation. I'm not you want but at least he should not have used our budget for that.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming to the Fatu Network News Review. That will be it for News Review today. Do join us tomorrow if you can. Thank you very much for watching and bye.